What's up, everybody? This is the Sports League Podcast, back for another week. I'm your host, Alex Leak. We got Pablo back on the show. Pablo, good to have you on as always.
Thank you for having me, man. It's a pleasure every time.
Yeah, it's always a blast to have you on. And, we got to get our 2024 NFL draft recap. We got to get our reactions to crazy drafts. Every year we look forward to the draft. A lot of good players coming into the league and teams getting their quarterbacks. And this year, especially, Pablo, first time in NFL draft history, the quarterback desperation was obvious. Six quarterbacks go in the top 12 picks. We've never seen that before. What do you think about that run on quarterbacks this year?
Yeah, I think top three was not a surprise because we expected quarterback, quarterback, quarterback. Some people expected a quarterback to go fourth overall. We expected a team to trade up with Arizona, maybe the Giants, maybe the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, those teams decided to stay put. The Giants surprisingly did not pick a QB, so that was maybe a little bit of a surprise because people like after the combine, there was rumors that the Giants perhaps they were done with Daniel Jones, so that was surprising. But obviously for the first time ever, I think it actually the fact that six quarterbacks went in the first 12 spots, it actually bid well for the teams that actually came like in the second half of the first round, because they got incredible players on defense, because we just have tackles, quarterbacks flying off the
Yeah.
board. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy how yeah, this is the first time that I can remember the first 14 picks were all offensive players. Took until
Yeah.
pick 15 for defensive edge Latu to go to the Colts. And then yeah, like the Eagles and some the Vikings for the Vikings to come away with not only JJ McCarthy but Dallas Turner as well.
Yeah.
Um, the Eagles getting Quinion Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. So yeah, you're right. Like some of the defensive players fell a bit, and it worked out for some teams that didn't need a quarterback. But for one of the teams that needed a quarterback and it didn't work out is the Vegas Raiders.
Hmm.
And I think they were assuming that Michael Penix Jr. was going to fall to 13, as
Hmm.
most of us were. There was people saying, "Well, you can't take Penix that high. He's a second round talent." I never
Hmm.
agreed with that. I think he's a first round talent. I love his arm talent, his arm strength. He's got underrated athleticism, you
Hmm.
know.
Hmm.
Um, but I was shocked that he went number 8 to the Falcons, and I think that's the pick that screwed up the draft for everyone else. If the Falcons just go, they could have gone Romo Dunze, they could have gone Dallas Turner, and tell me if you agree with this. Making a pick like that there for Atlanta benefits them right now, right away. And you've already paid Kirk Cousins all that money. Was it 4 year, 180 mil deal?
Hmm.
This offseason. So, you bring him in, you've got Bijan, you've got Kyle Pitts, Drake London, you add Roma Dunze to that, or you
Yeah.
add Dallas Turner to the edge, and it
Yeah.
makes you better right now. I think drafting Michael Penix to what? He's already older, and
Yeah.
how long is he going to sit behind Kirk Cousins? I mean, at least a year, right?
Hmm.
If not two. It makes no sense to me. What did you think of the Falcons pick there at 8?
Yeah. I think that was the shock of the entire draft, because I thought that was the shock of the first round, but like the next 2 days were boring as hell. Nothing really happened that was surprising.
Yeah.
Um, but that wasn't. I was flabbergasted by it, because like I have no problem with picking Penix at eighth overall. That's obviously everyone is saying that's not the issue here. But my
Yeah.
problem here is I don't think the Falcons actually did their their quarterback planning really well. I don't think they did their surveillance of the quarterback market, what they have in free agency, what they have in the draft. I don't think they did that really well. Otherwise, they would not have given that massive contract to Kirk Cousins. If they
Yeah.
had fallen, yeah, exactly. If they fell in love with Penix in March, they definitely would not have given that contract to Cousins. But they actually they were late on doing their quarterback homework. That's why they fell in love with Penix after signing Cousins to all that money. I don't think the problem here is the fact that Penix was drafted. The problem here is the fact that Cousins was basically signed to this monster deal that I think most people will say it's not deserving of that 6-year-old quarterback who basically has had a somewhat successful career, given that is not won anything. He hasn't gotten to the NFC Championship. I don't think.
Yeah,
Um,
one playoff win in his whole career.
yeah. I don't think that contract was warranted. So, like, exactly, my reaction after he signed that deal was shout out to his agent, because his agent basically he does wonders every single time he gets a lot of money. I remember
Yeah,
that deal with the Vikings. Yeah,
yeah, he's made more career money now than Tom Brady,
yeah,
like NFL wise at
crazy.
least, NFL contracts. But
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. Like when Kirk Cousins signed to Atlanta, we were kind of surprised
Hmm.
because let's say I agree, they were probably late to the quarterback evaluation process. And how is an NFL franchise that needs a quarterback? Desmond Ritter didn't work out. You
Yeah.
know that quarterback's going to be in need. So how
Hmm.
are you late to the process? And how are you not watching Michael Penix play at Washington for 2 years like everyone else, like we all did?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
saw Michael Penix in the playoffs. We saw him against Oregon and Bo Nix,
Yeah.
USC and Caleb Williams putting on a
Hmm.
show.
Hmm.
And so the Falcons should have known this, should have seen this. They should have known that Michael Penix was going to be there at 8.
Hmm.
So if that's the route you want to go, then why not trade for Justin Fields
Yeah.
and let him compete with Michael Penix? And if
Hmm.
he can hold him off for half a year or a year, and then you plug Penix in, and it gives Penix that quarterback competition that you want
Hmm.
for a rookie. But I just feel like you put Kirk Cousins in a very tough spot. That's
Hmm.
really the key here. Is that he's coming off a torn Achilles. He's gonna be playing in a new market for a new team, a new fan base, and he's got nothing built up there, no history with Atlanta. So the moment Kirk Cousins misses a deep ball to an open receiver or throws a pick six or an interception, the fans, I don't care if it's week 1, week 3, week 4, the fans and the local media and the national media as well are going to be talking about Michael Penix.
Yeah.
And how soon can we get Penix out there? And the fans are going to be chanting, "We want Penix." And
Yeah.
even the locker room are going to see Penix throwing these rocket balls in
Hmm.
practice and be like, "Let's put this guy out there." So I think that the Falcons. That's my scenario. I think the
Hmm.
Falcons are definitely going to regret giving Kirk Cousins all that money.
Yeah, 100%, and $100 million of it is guaranteed, fully guaranteed, which is just crazy. Like, they had, I think they had 3 shots to actually get, basically they had 3 chances to get a shot at a quarterback here. They had Lamar Jackson last year. They
Yep.
bottled that immediately. It didn't even take them an hour. They came out and said, "Oh, we're not interested," which basically shocked the entire world, considering how bad they were with their quarterback play. And
Yeah.
fast forward to Justin Fields. They actually had a chance to get Justin Fields. Justin Fields was rumored to Atlanta last season before the Bears
Yeah.
decided to stick with him. He was rumored to move to Atlanta this season after the Bears. Most likely they were moving away from him. So everyone knew most likely they were moving away from Justin Fields this season, and they decided not to even like investigate that and like basically put an offer on the table for Ryan Pauls and the Bears. And again, they had the draft, so they had 3 shots to actually get a franchise QB, and they decided to go with Kirk Cousins. They gave him a monster deal, and now they have a quarterback who is 24 years old. He has played, I think he has played 6 years of college football right now, or maybe
Yeah.
5 years. Yeah, he basically has a ton of experience playing the position. So you don't need him to sit because he needs to develop something. The only way he develops is if he gets in the game and basically adjust to the game at this level. Also, another thing I think here that people are confusing is people are saying the Falcons are ready to win now. I don't think the Falcons are ready to win right now. Maybe next year, maybe in 2 years. considering the fact that these guys have a new head coach. It'll take time. Raheem Morris is this is his first. This is his second time in Atlanta, but I think it's his first time being a head coach.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think that just because the fact that they have a head coach that does not have a lot of experience in this new position, I think it'll take time. And the defense, obviously, you mentioned Dallas Turner at eighth overall. That could have been a great option. Leiyatu Latu, that obviously the Colts
Yeah.
got, a great option. They could have literally gone anyone. They could have gone Byron Murphy, who the Seahawks actually drafted as well. The Texans, the defensive tackle from Texas. Basically, they had a lot of options to go on defense to help guys like John Abraham, to help that defense, which basically was a big part of the problems that they had last season. They didn't address that in the first round, which was, it was surprising. We'll see how this ages, but for me, in my opinion, I don't think the GM or the head coach will be there in 2 years. That's just my prediction. I don't think they'll be there because this is such a big mess. I
Yeah.
don't know how to solve this.
Yeah, I think that you're just gonna end up, eating a lot of that Kirk Cousins money. What you did is they didn't give Cousins a heads up. Cousins
Hmm.
had no idea they were gonna draft a quarterback there. He found out, I think, like 15 minutes before. Like, how do you sign a quarterback to all that money, 180 mil, 100 mil guaranteed, and then with your first big opportunity to build around him, you just piss him off, you know?
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
you get him saying publicly he's stunned and disappointed.
Yeah.
And if you add Romo Dunze, who was available right there at pick 8,
Hmm.
what are we saying about this offense now? If it's Kirk Cousins, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, Drake London, Romo Dunze, Kyle
Hmm.
Pitts,
Hmm.
you're you're better, and they weren't that far away from the playoffs last year. That
Yeah.
division, no one's running away with it.
Yeah.
So I would have gotten better this offseason and not drafted a quarterback for the future, or don't sign Kirk Cousins and build towards the future. But
Hmm.
they're trying to do both, and at some point it's going to backfire, and it might backfire both ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, because like Penix needs to start right away. Like he's a week one starting type of guy. Like he's ready. He's ready. He
yeah,
doesn't need to sit.
he doesn't need to sit because he's the one of the oldest quarterbacks, and yeah, if you're
Yeah.
going to bring in a project, bring in JJ McCarthy,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
It just is confusing on all levels. If you liked Michael Penix Jr. from day one, then
Yeah.
don't sign Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
So, the easiest pick of the draft was Caleb Williams to the Chicago Bears, number one overall. And then the Bears also get Romo Dunze at pick number 9 overall. So, as
Mm-hmm.
a Bears fan, I'm excited. You know, you think about Caleb Williams and then the fact that they've really upgraded the receiver room. DJ Moore
Yeah.
last year, but now you bring in Keenan Allen, you bring in Romo Dunze, you sign Gerald Everett behind Cole
Mm-hmm.
Kmet at tight end, bring in
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre Swift at running back, and then most importantly, an offensive coordinator who knows how to call plays in Shane Waldron, knows how to
Mm-hmm.
develop the quarterback position. So offensively, as a Bears fan, we're very excited. Um,
Yeah.
what do you think? I mean, did the Bears win the draft in your opinion? Caleb Williams and Romo Dunze, that's a hell of a get there in the top with those top two picks.
Yeah. 100%. And I'm really really liking how basically Williams is adjusting to the Chicago fan base with the claw thing. It seems like that's a movement now. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really like the buying. Not sure how that will translate. Because the Bears have never had a great quarterback. Um,
Yeah.
so hopefully it changes with Williams here. But I like the fact that basically they had some history. Obviously, they traveled to Detroit together on a private jet. Him and
Mm-hmm.
Dunze,
Yep.
and basically they end up getting drafted by the same team. They're going to Chicago. They're starting fresh. I think the fact that your defense was so good towards the later parts of the season last year. I think if you retain that caliber of defense, and your offense like improves by, let's say, like 10 points per game, or like maybe like 8 points per game, I think you guys can actually give the NFC North a real shot here to like and challenge the Lions, the Packers. People expect the Vikings to be good for some reason, which I don't understand at all, considering we don't know what they have at quarterback.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, but like, you guys can actually give the NFC North a shot here if your defense, like, because your defense was played incredibly last year, because like Iberflus was cooking towards the later parts of the season, and I know you wanted him gone, but he's here now. And your offense should take a step up. If your offense improves a tad bit, we saw that you guys also drafted that, probably the best punter in college, in the fourth round. So like, I expect that you guys will not be punting as much as Caleb, texted the Iowa punter, I think, from Iowa. Um,
Yeah.
I
Corey
expect you guys to
Taylor.
improve offense. Yeah, I expect you guys to improve offensively. So if you guys do that, I need to see the Bears challenging for the North.
Yeah, I think that expectations are going to be high right away for Caleb
Mm,
Williams. The weapons are around him, like I mentioned. The new offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron had success in LA with Jared Goff, had
mhm,
success in Seattle with Geno Smith.
mhm,
So, yeah, I like the ad of Roma Dunze there at 9 because it shows Caleb Williams like, look, we don't feel like we're in the development stage. We don't feel like we
mhm,
have to be patient with you.
mhm,
We're going to put Caleb Williams out there and say, let's go. Like, sling it all
mhm,
over the field. Just be yourself.
mhm.
And so hopefully, I mean, honestly, the Bears' single season quarterback records could all go down this year. Like, it wouldn't be that
Uh,
hard. No one's
no,
thrown for 4,000 yards. No one's thrown for 30 touchdowns. Like, it
N-
wouldn't be
I,
that hard.
it actually is. People are saying that, but it actually is, bro. Because like, how many like, do you know how it's so difficult to throw for 4,000 yards? And obviously Caleb can sling it. I'm not taking anything away from him. Is probably one of the best talents we've ever seen come out of college. But like, Lamar Jackson has not had a 4,000 passing yard season yet. He's a two-time MVP. Like
Yeah.
last year, but like last year, like look at CJ Stroud. Like he had probably the best rookie season we've seen from a quarterback, and he only had like 4,100 yards or something. He only just like got past the fourth. It's tough. Maybe his second year he might, but his rookie year, that might be tough.
Well, I'm just saying it shouldn't take long. Like
Yeah, yeah,
it wouldn't surprise me if the records went down this year, but
yeah, yeah.
the record should go down. I mean, Jameis Winston threw for 5,000 yards in this league. Like, come on
Yeah,
now.
yeah, we know him. He likes to take his shot, man. He likes, like, yeah, I like James Winston a lot, actually.
Me too.
Yeah, he's one of the funniest personalities in the league, 100%.
But I agree, the Bears should be in that conversation in the North. Like, I think the Packers, Jordan Love is going to continue to get better. They're going to continue to build around him. I love the Josh Jacobs ad in Green Bay. They also got what? Marshawn Lloyd, right?
Yeah,
So they still got AJ Dillon,
yeah,
Edgerrin Cooper and Javon Bullard on that defense. Like the
yeah.
Packers do an excellent job, so they're gonna be good. I think the Packers win the division, but I'm
Mhm,
not ready to crown the Lions to say they're gonna go back to the NFC Championship game or they're going to the Super Bowl this year. Jared Goff, as much as he proved me wrong last year, I
mhm,
need to see it again. My
mhm,
big thing on Jared Goff is a lack of consistency. He's a bit of a roller coaster. One year he'll have a great year, the next year has a down year. And we
mhm.
saw signs of that when he would have turnover games, three
Yeah,
turnover, four turnover games against Green Bay, against Detroit.
mhm,
So Goff is the key. The Lions have a great team built around him, and they're only getting
yeah,
better.
yeah,
So as long as Goff continues to play at a high level, the
yeah,
Lions can contend for the NFC North and get back into the playoffs and be a contender in the NFC. But if Goff regresses a little bit, then
Yeah.
the North opens wide up for the Bears, for the
Yeah.
Packers, and we'll see on the Vikings. I agree with you that I don't have high expectations for them,
Yeah.
but they have weapons like Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson. They had Aaron Jones,
Hmm.
and Kevin O'Connell gets the most out of the quarterback position, whether it's Nick Mullins, Josh Dobbs,
Hmm.
whoever. So we'll
Hmm.
see if he can get some production out of Sam Darnold,
Hmm.
or maybe they'll have to go to J.J. McCarthy sooner than later. So we'll see on Minnesota, but I agree. I think the Bears can make some noise in the North this year.
Yeah,
Uh,
100%. I also like the fact that I think the Lions are seeing like it's like I think their mentality is right now it's like this is our division, like we have to stamp our foot on it. And I think that's part of the reason why they're so aggressive. We like they gave that in huge extension to Amon-Ra St. Brown,
yeah,
which for me was just it. That's insane. He's now the highest paid wide receiver in the league, slightly more than the $120 million that they gave that the Dolphins actually gave Tyreek Hill 2 years ago. Um,
is the going rate? You got to pay it. I mean, is
yeah,
he the best receiver in the game? No, I don't think so.
yeah.
But you got to pay him.
Yeah, but like for me, they overpaid a little. Like he's good, but he doesn't deserve like more than what the Raiders are giving Devontae Adams. They're giving him like 28 million a year. I think Saint Brown is on like 30 plus million a year. Uh,
Yeah.
but to each team their own. Basically they wanted to reward one of their best players. I also like the fact that they got Terrion Arnold in the first round. He
Yeah.
is, yeah, his mentality is something else. I think if you look, if is in the rookies welcome to the NFL type thing on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
His mentality is something else, and basically that's what you want from somebody who's a franchise corner, someone who's a key, like who's a cornerstone for your defense, especially in the secondary. You want someone with this mentality. I think if he actually balls out for them, they have a really good chance of being good for a long time, because they have like um the edge rusher that was picked second overall a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Aiden Hutchinson.
Hutchinson, yeah, they have monsters in the middle of that defense. They drafted Jack Campbell last year. They
Yeah.
have Terrion Arnold basically in the secondary this year, and obviously uh, basically other bowlers in the secondary as well. Their offense is okay. Obviously they can decide to plug in a few rotational pieces here and there, but you didn't think the offense needed a lot of improvement. I like the Lions. I think the fact that the Packers obviously have a young team that should help them, because they only get better with time. They have the experience now. Aaron Jones is is away, so you expect Josh Jacobs to basically be that workhorse that Aaron Jones could not be due to injuries.
I mean,
Yeah, the
I
the
think
Bears
Josh
are
Jacobs
right in the are right in the mix, 100%.
Yeah, I think Josh Jacobs is an upgrade. Aaron Jones hasn't exactly been healthy the last
Hmm.
couple of years, and Josh Jacobs is a monster. We know that well from his days with the Raiders. So, as a Bears fan, I hate it. The
Hmm.
Packers getting better, the Lions
Hmm.
getting better, like you mentioned. Terrion Arnold is a great pick, and
Hmm.
it's Rakestraw in the second round. So they really addressed the secondary. Brian
Hmm.
Branch last year, and then they
Hmm.
traded for Carlton Davis from
Hmm.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
So, and Carlton Davis, one of my favorite corners in the entire league. So they took a weakness in the secondary last year and made it a strength. And
Yeah.
I still would like to add some pass rush help around Aiden Hutchinson. He's really the only guy that you have to worry about
Mhm.
there.
Yeah.
But um, it's an excellent team built around Jared Goff. Everything about the Lions centers around the quarterback,
Hmm.
and we'll see if Goff can continue to play at a Pro Bowl level and keep proving me wrong. But the North, I agree, is wide open, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's go to AFC North. Talk about your guys, the Ravens, the Steelers, um, the Bengals and the Browns. How do you see the AFC North? Are you happy with what the Ravens did in the draft?
I'm
You
always
know,
I'm always happy with that the Ravens doing the draft. We like I don't know how we do it every year. Like we kill the draft every single year, and this year was no different. The only problem that I have with the North right now is the Steelers also had a great draft because
yeah,
like some way somehow like us they always have a great draft, like they always end up picking someone that you always overlooked, and they turn out to be probably the best player ever. Like look at George Pickens.
yeah,
um yeah, 100%. I think the Ravens killed it. Not many like at the like when Net Wiggins like, when um the Ravens picked Net Wiggins. Not many of us actually had him going in the first round. Not many of us. Like I think some fans were upset that we actually picked Net Wiggins, but like going back and looking into him, he's worth it. Looking at his tape, he's actually like a really great corner out of
yeah.
Clemson. Obviously, he has ties with Simpson, the left back, the linebacker that we actually drafted last year in the third round from Clemson. He will replace Patrick Quinn this year. So he has ties with Ned Wiggins, Trenton Simpson. Wiggins is a baller. I think the tackle that we actually got in the second round, who was actually protecting Michael Penix's blind side. Roger Rosengarten, I think he will probably be a star. Like his ceiling is so high. He's only like 20 years old or maybe like 21 years old. He is incredible. The third round, Adisa Isaac, I'm not entirely like optimistic about him just because of what I've seen from Odafe Owe, because I've seen these Penn State edge rushers. They have like they test really well in the combine. They are incredibly athletic, but like we don't see the production translate in the league, which is it's unfair and it's biased to actually like have that stamp on him just because of Odafe Owe, but like I'm not
It's
excited
something
about
that
him.
seeps in, whether it's fair or not. It's something that we think about, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Like
Yeah,
Odafe Owe, like before the 2021 draft, he tested really, really well. And the Ravens actually traded OBJ, Orlando Brown Jr., to the Chiefs that off season for a first round pick. Like we actually got a first round pick and we used it on him. We expected him to actually be like this impact type of player. Obviously, the Ravens picked up Owe's fifth year option, so he'll be here next year. Obviously, considering how the edge rush market, the pass rush market is with all these defensive tackles getting like $90 million contracts. Um, yeah, Adisa Isaac, obviously, he was very productive. Obviously, he was lined up opposite Chop Robinson in Penn State. So maybe we'll see how he pans out. But like the first
I
day
love
of
I love your
le-
fourth round picks. Tez Walker,
yeah, yeah.
great value pick in the fourth round. I mean, I think he's a second round value.
Mhm.
And then TJ Tampa is a great value pick as well. I mean, for fourth round, TJ Tampa, I might like, he's got potential starter to him.
Yeah, if I tweeted this um I forget when I tweeted this. Maybe last week I said something along the lines of I think all I think all but I think Roger Rosengarten, I think Nate Wiggins, I think Tez Walker and who TJ Tampa. I think those guys could have gone in the first round of the draft. Not this
Yeah.
year, like maybe this year, next year. Because if
Hmm.
Tez Walker returned to college for another year, or like Roger Rosengarten returned to Washington for another year, I think those guys are first round type of talent. I
Yeah.
think the Ravens actually just got lucky that these players actually fell to them. Tampa is a sneaky one. People don't actually rate him that highly, but he is certified a baller.
Yeah, I mean, that AFC North is going to be, the Ravens got better. The Browns, I like the Jamari Thrash pick in the fifth round for the Browns, Michael Hall
Hmm.
Jr. The Steelers boosting up their offensive line to go with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields in that quarterback competition. And the Bengals had a good draft as well. Chris Jenkins, Amarius Mims, Jermaine Burton, Eric All. So the
Hmm.
AFC North is going to be tough. But one thing we got to talk about is that we haven't talked about with you on the show is Derrick Henry going to the Ravens. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. On paper, how do you defend that? Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry in the same backfield, and then you got Mark Andrews off of it, and you know
Yeah.
Zay Flowers and those guys like that. But Derrick Henry to Baltimore is like the perfect fit, don't you think?
Yeah, 100%. I think Ravens fans have seen Derrick Henry firsthand, like in a lot of games, like Tennessee and Baltimore. I think there's a small rivalry there, even though they're like interdivisional teams, like interdivision. I think Lamar Jackson is actually lighter this year, which like a lot of I'm not sure like anyone who's not a Ravens fan has noticed. Like he recently did an interview and he said that he's at 205 pounds, which is like receivers. The latest receivers are not like 205 pounds. They're like 215, 216, 217. Lamar
Yeah.
Jackson actually tested in the pre-draft combine in 2018. He was 216 pounds. He is actually lighter than his combine weight, so which just goes to show that like he wants to actually be faster this year, which I think is his aim. Obviously, Derrick Henry is that like workhorse type of running back, so he'll take a lot of the weight. I think that's part of his mentality going into the year, which is like Derrick Henry will have a lot of carries. He'll carry a lot of the load, so he doesn't have to put on the weight because he won't be getting it as much.
Mm-hmm.
I like our offense this year, which I always like our offense every year, except maybe when we didn't have wide receivers. But like yeah, but like this year, obviously, Mark Andrews is expected to be 100% healthy. We expect Isaiah likely to actually step on like he did last year. Rashad Bateman, he's extended now. We expect him to actually have a jump. The Ravens are very optimistic about him, which like puzzles some of the Ravens fans, considering Bateman has not been all that, except for a few games. And obviously, Zay Flowers expect him to improve. I'm excited. I'm excited about Derrick Henry and how this offense will actually look.
Yeah. So I can't wait. I mean, we still got a ways to go, but I'm getting ready to like start doing my team previews. Like I'm ready for football season now.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
we got the
I,
NBA playoffs, but like the NFL is all year long, and
yeah,
the free agency, the draft gets you all hype, and so now I'm just getting ready. I'm in season mode. I'm ready for training camp and all that. So good
yeah.
to have you
Le-
on, Pablo. Nice to
Can I
break down
let
the
me
draft.
can I ask you one thing? I need
Yeah,
your thoughts on what the Bills did, because the Bills actually traded um basically out of the first round.
twice.
They gave the Chiefs
Yeah,
a shot at Xavier Worthy. The Chiefs took the shot, and obviously they had second overall. Like they could 32nd overall. They could have gotten Keon Coleman at that second overall, and it would not have mattered except for the fact that they would have had Coleman's fifth year option. Now they trade out of the first round and take him, obviously the first player in the second round. They don't have his fifth year option, and we know how the wide receiver market is. If Coleman balls out, they have to pay him earlier than basically the receivers taken in the first round. What's your thought on what the Bills did?
I didn't understand trading back the way they did. I love Keon Coleman. He's a first
Hmm.
round talent, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Every year guys drop for some reason. DK Metcalf, AJ Brown, George Pickens. It's like, why are
Hmm.
you dropping? The talent
Hmm.
is obvious, and I feel the same
Hmm.
way about Keon Coleman. I loved him at Michigan State, loved him at Florida State,
Hmm.
and he fits the Bills very well. I didn't understand who. If you're the Bills, the Chiefs could offer me Travis Kelsey and Patrick Mahomes. I'm still likely to say no. Like, screw the Chiefs.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. The
no
Chiefs.
more
Yeah,
trade with Kansas City if you're Buffalo.
yeah. They've been successful for way too long, man. Like I would really want to put a dent in their armor, man. And also like, how about Brendan Rice? Jerry Rice's kid, falling to like the seventh round. He had to wait until day three. He was like at a friend's funeral or something when he was called. He's going, I think, to the Chargers. The Chargers picked
Yeah,
him.
Chargers,
Yeah,
along with Lad McConkey and those guys.
yeah,
Cornelius
yeah.
Johnson.
Yeah, I thought he was okay at USC. Brendan Rice. Do you think
Yeah,
he was like what do you think happened there?
I think that you know it'll be interesting to see if he gets a shot with the Chargers. He might not be, um, when you're Jerry Rice's kid, you're gonna get drafted, right? So maybe
Yeah.
like his talent and his skill set is better fit for college. It's hard
Okay.
as a seventh round pick to make it in the league,
Okay.
but because of the name Rice, you're gonna get an opportunity, and
Mm-hmm.
he couldn't go to a much better spot than the Chargers with.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert will get you the ball if you get open and you get
Yeah.
opportunities. So, uh, yeah, I was a bit surprised the Chargers didn't go like Malik Neighbors,
Okay.
but that's the
Yeah.
Jim Harbaugh way is to go trenches,
Yeah.
build through the trenches, dominate, be physical on both sides of the ball, the Stanford way, the 49er way, and then the way it was at Michigan to win the national championship.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I like what the Chargers are doing. It's gonna be an interesting season for sure. Um, the Eagles, the rich get richer as far as they go. The Chiefs got
Yeah.
faster. It looks like
Yeah.
Rasheed Rice might not. Who knows what's gonna happen with Rasheed Rice? He got
Yeah.
the
He's
whole leaving the scene, and then
yeah.
apparently he's got an assault charge on him now.
Yeah. He's like this is why I love the Ravens. Like the Ravens are so big on this. Like whenever they draft you, whenever they sign you, they want to know like what type of guy you are. Like, are you a guy that's going to get into trouble? Like, are you a guy that's always going to be on the headlines for the wrong thing? This is why the Ravens were a little bit hesitant on OBJ, and they started talking to him in like October, like way before we signed him in March. They talked to him for like half of that season, and they signed him in the off season. Yeah, I think if the Chiefs don't have Rashid Rice, I think they'll figure it out because no one figures it out like they do, which just sucks for everyone playing in the AFC because like you literally know you have to go past them to get to where you want. And
Yeah,
regarding the Chargers, also sucks for the Chargers that are in the same division. But like the Chargers, picking Joe Alt for me was like a home run. I thought they did really really well with that. I think he
yeah,
is like 6'8", 6'9". He obviously he's a
he's a
left tackle, but
monster.
like yeah,
Yeah,
he's like he is like there's nothing that is he is more about than football. Like so, I,
yeah.
basically, hopefully the Chargers actually do well. I have some few Ravens fans. I have some few Ravens guys on the Chargers. Just a few, not a lot of Ravens guys. So basically, hopefully the Chargers do well, man. I'm rooting for them actually.
Yeah, I think they'll be better. Like quickly. Like people
Yeah.
are expecting a process over there. I think like they were way too talented to be as bad as they were last year,
Hmm.
and I think they'll be, you know, right there in the conversation.
Yeah.
I think the Broncos reached on Bo Nix. We'll see. That's
Hmm.
that's all on Sean Payton and Joe Lombardi. Can they
Hmm.
get Bo Nix to be Drew Brees, right?
Hmm.
And I think
Yeah.
that's a reach at number 12 overall. But you see the quarterback desperation, and
Yeah.
the Raiders unable to get a quarterback because of that,
Yeah.
And now they're stuck with Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell, and no more Josh Jacobs, and so it's going to be an interesting year for the Raiders. But well, great to have you on, Pablo.
Mhm.
Always fun to catch up, and we're post draft and see how our teams are looking head into the season, and we'll have to get you back on for some more content here as the season gets closer. But always great to have you on and great insight as always.
Yeah, thank you for having me, man. Like, we'll try to figure it out. Obviously, we're a little bit rusty, but we'll try to figure it out.
Yeah, well, it's going to be an awesome NFL season coming up. We're going to do our season previews, get some players on the show, stuff like that. So appreciate
Yeah.
the support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Thanks, Pablo, and have a great week, guys. Peace out.